What are the biggest risks to your retirement? Basically, the risks that you need to manage, that you need to have a plan for going into retirement, hopefully planning for all along the way as you're preparing, so that you can venture into retirement knowing, all right, I'm good here, I'm good here, I'm good here. What are those? I've got those 3 coming up. My name is Mike Bernard. I'm the host of the Wise Money Show. I'm also one of the certified financial planners right here at Korhorn Financial Group. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and smash that thumbs up button. So, retirement is likely your biggest financial goal. Hopefully you've got a ton of financial goals that you're still pursuing and a ton of financial goals that you've already accomplished. Anything from, having a fully funded emergency fund, having that hot tub, doing that house expansion or improvement, all the way to helping kids with college, buy a house, pay the mortgage off, retire someday, all that sort of stuff, okay? But within all of those goals and more, retirement's different. Retirement's different. It takes decades to prepare for, and it will last decades as well. And so one of the reasons why many people finally decide to hire a certified financial planner is they say, listen, I'm navigating towards this retirement thing. Am I on track? Am I doing what I should be doing? Or I'm really close. Am I ready to make the plunge? Am I ready to take that leap when I want to? Or what are the other things that I should be doing to make sure I get on track, stay on track, and retire with confidence? So those are reasons. Those are reasons to work with a certified financial planner doing comprehensive financial planning. Someone that's just selling you investments doesn't cut it, okay? Doesn't cut it. An online calculator or your little income replacement chart that you get on your 401k statement, that's not retirement planning. You need a 5-factor retirement plan. I've done tons of videos on that. I'll continue to do so, but check those out if you're not familiar with a 5-factor retirement plan. When I look at the dangers within retirement, the things that you need to plan for, to watch out for, or to mitigate those major risks, there's 3 of them, okay? There's 3 big ones. And you've got to have a plan for, all right, well, how am I going to manage these risks? Or do I just have to live with them and they potentially, keep me up at night in retirement, or I don't have financial peace in retirement? So these are the big 3, and I'll talk about how to solve them. The number 1 risk with retirement is longevity. Now, you would say, gosh, I hope I live a long time. That's what I'd want. Well, the risk of running out of money is now the greatest fear of baby boomers. And I didn't do that poll, but apparently that poll has been done. The greatest risk of baby boomers is outliving their money, which means there's longevity and they're still on this planet after their money has been spent, okay? That is an enormous risk, and with modern medicine and other things, it's something you've got to plan for, living longer than what you'd expect. In fact, what we've seen, and studies have backed this up as well, that people tend to retire a little earlier than what they expect because of health reasons or whatever. But then on average, people also live about 6 years longer than what they expect. I am currently serving people right now, and I don't serve as many clients. I work with a whole team of folks that do. But I am currently serving clients who are living beyond when they originally told me when we did their 5-factor retirement plan. They said, oh, I'll never live that long. There's no way I'll live that long. No one in my family ever lives that long. Yeah, I'm working with them and they're still living beyond that date. Okay, so longevity, a huge risk that you've got to manage for. The second big risk in retirement is inflation. And you might say, right now, well, of course, that's sort of buzzword. No, this risk has always been there, okay? It just seems more real right now with house prices going up through the roof. Pun maybe intended there. My dad jokes are just getting off the chart. Kevin is teasing me about that. But copper prices are at all-time highs. Lumber prices at all-time highs. We are seeing inflation. There's a bunch of money being printed, and inflation seems to be one of the biggest risks and challenges right now. Well, listen, because your retirement lasts decades, inflation has always been this silent killer, this silent danger for retirement. It's like a dangerous gas that's being injected into the room of your retirement. You can't see it, you can't really feel it, but it is there and it's eroding. It's a danger for your retirement. If you retire in your mid-60s and you say, well, yeah, I spend around $5,000 a month or $6,000 a month or whatever, 3 decades later, at likely the end of your life in your mid-90s, how much money will you need to have that same lifestyle? And I would say, yeah, you're probably more active at 65 than you are at 95, but you probably aren't spending as much on healthcare at 65 as you will at 95. So inflation is a huge risk that you've got to manage for when you're planning for retirement. There's a great tool to do that. I'll share that with you coming up. And then the third big risk, I would tell you that the final of these big risks in retirement is market volatility. Market volatility. In retirement, you have less time to stomach a big drop in your investments and have them recover over the long term. Believe it or not all stock market downturns are back up to their to all-time highs within just a couple of months because the government prints trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars. That's not how they all work. And so market volatility in retirement while you're drawing dollars out is a huge risk. I would argue the third greatest risk to your retirement. And there's a great way to manage this as well. But if you're keeping your investments low risk, then the longevity risk and the inflation risk are bigger problems, even though the market volatility is less of a problem. But if you're keeping your investments at higher risk, then you likely should do a better job with longevity and with inflation. But market volatility, meaning you're going to be drawing money out when the investments are high, but then when investments drop, you're going to be drawing the same or a higher amount of dollars out, and that means you have less money to then capture that rebound, okay? And there's all sorts of statistics, I'm not going to show them here, but shows that drawing dollars out of a volatile investment can be very damaging about how long it can last. So market volatility, third big risk in retirement. All right, so how do you solve those? Okay, interestingly enough, and I just sort of shared one, but I mean, you've got a few different tools or arrows in your quiver here. You've got a few different tools in your tool belt, and the most common one is stock investments, okay? Well, like I said, stock investments it's the only thing that long term has beat inflation, okay, handedly over time, okay, has the best performance against inflation over time, all right? And you might say, some of you might say gold, or, well, that's not proven. Some of you might say crypto. There's not enough history to confirm that yet. Stocks have been the best performer against inflation. So stocks will help you with that longevity risk, okay, and stocks will help you against that inflation risk, but they create a lot of market volatility, right? So they help you with 2 out of the 3. Well, what about bonds? Okay, well, bonds probably aren't going to offer a lot of long-term return, so they're probably not going to help you with that longevity risk. Bonds, historically, the interest has kept up with inflation. Not right now. Not right now. They are intentionally, the government is intentionally keeping interest rates below inflation. So bonds will not help you with inflation. And it does help with market volatility. Even though the upside for bonds right now is abysmal, typically the volatility within bonds isn't nearly as extreme as stocks, okay? So it doesn't help you, honestly, it doesn't help you with 2, but it does help you with 1, all right? What about pensions? Okay, pensions definitely solve the longevity risk. It's going to pay you for the rest of your life. Does not help you with inflation. Very, very few pensions offer a cost of living adjustment. So it doesn't help you with inflation, but does help you with market volatility. Because whether the market's up or the market is down, that pension is still promised to be paid to you every single month. Okay, so pensions solve longevity and market volatility. They don't solve inflation. Believe it or not, the one piece, there's one that actually solves for all 3, and it's Social Security. Now, you've got this other huge risk that they could change policy, they could change laws, and your Social Security could be limited, capped, or go away, you're right? Or some of these features could change, but Social Security is going to pay for the rest of your life. solves longevity risk. Social Security has a cost of living adjustment every single year based on CPI. So technically, even though that doesn't really keep up with inflation, technically it solves for that risk. And then market, rain or shine, market up, market down, you're going to continue to get your Social Security payment. So Social Security, believe it or not, is the only one that solves those three big risks. Those are the major tools in your tool belt. So what do? Work with your certified financial planner, have a combination of those. I mean, if Social Security provided 100% income replacement and we were 100% confident in the system, you would never need to invest, you'd never need to save up, just use Social Security, right? That's it. But it doesn't. It will not provide for, it's not designed to provide for 100% income replacement. It's not enough. Typically, it's about a third of what you need. Pensions are going away. And like I said, with bonds now paying interest that's below inflation, you've got to have a balance of these. For us, we use the personal pension plan. For our clients, we build a tailored system for addressing how to have that consistent income that's void of market volatility in the short term, but then harnesses the long-term growth potential of markets with a momentum strategy to beat longevity and beat inflation over the long term. Personal pension plan, that's what you need. Your certified financial planner that's doing comprehensive financial planning will be able to craft a custom-built system for you. That's what we do here. If your CFP is not doing that, you can contact us. Find us online, corehorn.com. That's Corehorn with a K. You can also find us, wisemoneyshow.com. Find us there as well. Send us an email, info@corehorn.com. All right, there you have it. Go out and take your next wise step in your financial life.